Yeah, I appreciate that question. Some time ago when I was working at Reform Alliance, co-founded by Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Robert Kraft, and a few other folks, around the table were people whose net worth exceeded anything that I had ever imagined growing up. They were billionaires. These were industry leaders and people whose names opened doors. And when they started walking into the room, I had took my hat off. Partly out of respect, partly because I thought that that's what somebody like me was supposed to do in a room like that. And Jay-Z looked at me and he asked why I took it off. And I explained myself, and he said something I've never forgotten. He said, "Where you are, there you are." And what he was really telling me had nothing to do with the hat, had nothing to do with it being paper planes or anything else. He was talking about identity. And a lot of people spend their lives shape-shifting or code switching, so to speak, right? They're changing who they are depending on who's watching. And they're trying to become whatever the room expects, trying to earn permission to belong. But there's a danger in constantly editing yourself for acceptance. I was having a conversation with my bishop. He was telling me a version of that. Because eventually you become successful and still don't know who showed up. Right? Because you've spent years performing versions of yourself. And that moment taught me something, that you should always respect the room, but never shrink in the room. Never become smaller so other people can feel larger. Don't ever confuse humility with self-erasure. And the room didn't become valuable because I entered it, but I didn't become less valuable because they were already sitting in it. And that's a lesson a lot of people spend their whole lives trying to learn.